LGBTQ clothing that is for kids. I mean, Target has been doing this for a while now, but look at this. Look at this. Let's see, look at the age that's on here. Why? It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is how it always starts. Remember, when they first started off doing this, oh, love is love, right? But now it's just gotten progressively worse. If you look at Target's lineup, I mean, look at this. You got to be kidding me. You know what that's for? And they got this stuff in kid sizes. This is absolutely ridiculous. They've gotten so bold with it, it makes no sense. Think about it. Think about the progression of this. Oh, it's just a cute little shirt. Oh, we just want to, but you got so much clothing targeted at children. I think this is for puppies or whatever, but it's still absolutely ridiculous. Enough is enough. So with that being said, I think that as believers, we got a responsibility here because they're getting so bold with it. You know what I'm saying? They keep doing it, right? And, you give them a little ground, right? And the reality is, it's never just about, just loving who you want to love, because it continues, right, to spread. They continue to take more territory. Even with that display, I remember a couple of years ago when I first went in the Target and I brought it up and I talked about it. I mean, they didn't have all this tuck stuff and all this stuff for the kids. They've added that stuff on. So it's like, the more that we don't say anything and the more that we don't do anything, all right, it's going to continue to happen. And it's absolutely disgusting what is going on with the schools, what is going on with the kids. I think as believers, we just got to stop shopping at Target. We gotta have our own, at least through the months where they're having, this display out there, because I know, people live in different places. Maybe a Target is one of the only things that you got, but this is absolutely ridiculous. My children told me about an incident that happened on the bus. Right, two young boys doing some very inappropriate things to each other the other day. Very young. I'm talking about very young. And the reason this is happening is because they keep pushing this stuff on the kids. Why? Why? Think about it for a second. Let me just two things I want you to think about. Why at the LGBTQ parades? I seen another video yesterday. They had a guy hanging on a cross, and then the other guy is using the cross as a stripper pole. And so he's dancing on him, grinding on him, climbing on it, all that kind of stuff. And then at many other parades, they always have a gay Jesus. Why do they not do this to any other religion? Just something to think about right there. Why are they only kicking Bibles around, ripping Bibles up at Satan Con and LGBTQ events? Why is it only Christianity and not any other religion? That's something to think about right there. And then number two, okay, why do you insist with the drag shows doing it with kids? Why do we have all these videos with, the children? Why are you encouraging kids, throwing money at kids, having kids dancing in bars? Why are we, doing the drag story shows with kids? Why is it so important to them to do this stuff in front of kids? Why does nobody say anything, right? You see these pictures at LGBTQ parades. I know here in Chicago, they got guys, dressed with all kinds of filthy costumes. Some of them just all the way completely, butt naked. Got grown men on leashes with thongs and stuff like that. And you got little kids in the crowd. And nobody seems to want to ask, is that appropriate for children to see? How is that not child abuse, right? You got these grown men, half naked, dancing in front of kids in the library, twerking, shaking their butt and stuff like that, right? But if you took some straight man and they were dancing in a provocative way in front of some girls, little girls in the library, people would lose their minds, because it should be common sense. This is not appropriate for children. So because of what they're pushing and they're feeding these kids incidents like what happened on my kid's bus the other day, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. It's absolutely disgusting. I remember a couple of years ago, they had a choir actually singing, we're coming for your children. They were actually singing that, a whole LGBTQ choir. They're letting you know what they're gonna do. And then you guys wanna keep voting for, Biden and He's picking up right where Obama left off, right? They brought the first black president in. What's the biggest thing he did while he was president? Push that LGBTQ stuff. Lit the White House up with the rainbow colors, you know, signed the whole marriage thing. Oh, let people just love who they want to love. And guess what? That's how, you know, in Target, the t-shirts started when they started doing the displays. You know, love is love, right? Bad enough, but not too crazy. So Trump gets in, you know, there's a little break there. And then Biden gets in, he picks up right where Obama left off. Now, the thing why they put Obama as president and had the first black president push the gay agenda, because anybody that talks about, you know, against this or comes against Obama will just say, oh, they're racist. That was part of the defense that they had set up. We'll have the first black president, you know, push this agenda, and then they were going to have Hillary Clinton to push this feminist agenda and the abortion stuff. And anybody that speaks against her will just say they're a misogynist, you know, that they're strategic with what they do. But Trump came in, messed their stuff up. So now, okay, let's put Joe Biden. First thing Joe Biden does, right, he starts pushing that LGBTQ agenda. He signed some laws in place, and we're turning into Sodom and Gomorrah. It's so obviously demonic. Like I said earlier, why do they only do it with Christianity? Why do they only mock Christianity? Why do they only turn up Bibles? Why do they have only a gay Jesus in the parade and guys, you know, using crosses as a stripper pole at the parades? Because it's a demonic spirit, a demonic antichrist agenda behind all of it. God made a man, and a woman, and this spirit is trying to defy that. It's the spirit of rebellion. And guess what? Rebellion is as witchcraft. So I feel like a boy, right? But I'm a girl, or I'm a girl and I feel like a boy. Now let me go to this doctor, a witch, right? Who's going to give me some chemicals, right? That's going to chemically castrate me, or just like a witch mixing a potion to confirm this false belief that I have in my mind. Let me go get some kind of potion, some kind of mix. Let me go get some kind of surgery. It's demonic, because God made things to be a certain way. And so America is just becoming a Sodom and Gomorrah, because the reality is we've allowed Christianity to be dictated in America by people that are not really, you know, they're telling us what Christianity is supposed to be instead of living Christianity out the way that the Bible says. If you look at the Bible, every great man of God in the Bible was controversial. They were bold. A lot of them were not liked, especially the prophets, because the message that they were speaking is going to create division. Hey, even Jesus said, I didn't come for peace, I came with a sword. But y'all don't like when I talk like that. We don't want our pastors to be controversial. You want your pastors to be politicians. You want your pastors to look a certain way. You want, and honestly, it gets quite fake, because they're human, they're flawed too. The reality is when you preach truth, you stand for truth, you're going to have people who hate it, people who love it, people who reject it, people who accept it. There's a gray area where a lot of Christians been hiding. Oh, you know, talking about abortion and LGBTQ, we've got more important things. Those are just conservative Republican talking points. And so a lot of the church don't want to get behind it, because we've deemed it as a Republican talking point or movement, when really it's a kingdom thing. The Bible says it's better for a millstone to be tied around your neck than to offend one of these little ones. God is not pleased with the attack that is going on with our children. There's an agenda being pushed on our children. There's an attack on our children, and it's a spiritual war. And a lot of Christians are silent. We're supposed to be watchmen on the wall. And if the watchman doesn't cry out, hey, that blood is on your hands. If you're a pastor and you're not speaking up, that blood is on your hands. If you got influence because you're a Christian and you're not speaking up, you got millions of followers and you're not speaking up, hey, that blood is on your hands. God gave you a platform not for you to just be famous, not for you to just make millions. How is it that some Christians have made millions of dollars, you're set for life, right, but you won't speak up? You ain't got nothing to lose. You got the money in the bank account. Speak up, be bold. It's absolutely ridiculous. So my suggestion, at least for this period, I think that believers should stop shopping at Target this Pride Month and all that stuff, as long as they have this stuff up, because it's just absolutely disappointing. And the reality is, it's just the agenda being thrown in our face. So if they could be that bold, and they're getting more bold with these displays, they're adding little stuff here and there, and it's like, it just blows my mind. They got so much stuff for the kids in there. They're clearly targeting the kids, and that's weird. But you know where that's going to lead. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's going to lead to that whole, you know, they say, oh, you was born this way. Somebody's going to push that pedophile stuff. Well, I was born this way. You know, the map, look it up. Minor attracted persons. You're 60 years old, but you're attracted to a little boy and you're a grown man because you identify as a 12-year-old girl. Hey, it's going to go there. People didn't think this would get this crazy.